IELTS Speaking Part 2 topic. Describe a situation when you had to communicate in a foreign language. What was the situation or context? What language did you have to use? How did you manage to communicate effectively? How did you feel about the experience?
I vividly recall a remarkable situation where I found myself immersed in a foreign language, which turned out to be a truly memorable experience. Last summer, I had the opportunity to embark on a solo journey to explore the rich cultural heritage of Japan. One day, while strolling through the vibrant streets of Kyoto, I stumbled upon a quaint tea house and decided to venture inside. Little did I know that this impulsive decision would lead me to a captivating encounter that required me to communicate solely in Japanese. As I stepped into the tea house, I was greeted by a gracious hostess, who welcomed me with a warm smile. She proceeded to guide me to a traditional tatami room, where a small group of locals were engrossed in an animated conversation. Being the only non-native speaker present, I was filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. It was a golden opportunity to put my years of studying Japanese to the test. The language barrier was immediately apparent, as my Japanese proficiency was still a work in progress. Nevertheless, I summoned my courage and engaged in the conversation, relying on my vocabulary and idiomatic expressions to bridge the gap. It was an intricate dance of words, as I juggled between constructing sentences and deciphering the rapid-fire dialogue around me. With a determined spirit, I endeavored to express myself clearly and concisely, even if it meant occasionally stumbling upon unfamiliar phrases. To my surprise, the locals were incredibly patient and understanding. They acknowledged my efforts and provided support by simplifying their language, occasionally employing gestures to enhance comprehension. This inclusive atmosphere facilitated effective communication and encouraged me to persist. Moreover, I discovered that embracing the local customs and etiquette further enhanced my ability to connect with the individuals present. Despite the initial trepidation, the experience of communicating in a foreign language was undeniably exhilarating. Each successful exchange brought a surge of confidence, motivating me to venture further into uncharted linguistic territories. It was an invaluable opportunity to apply my knowledge in a real-life setting and witness its practical impact. Additionally, this encounter deepened my appreciation for the significance of language in fostering cultural understanding. Language acts as a powerful tool that transcends geographical boundaries, enabling connections and fostering empathy. The experience reaffirmed my belief in the transformative power of language acquisition and encouraged me to continue exploring different languages in the future. In conclusion, finding myself immersed in a Japanese-speaking environment in the heart of Kyoto was an awe-inspiring experience that tested my language skills. Despite the initial challenges, I managed to communicate effectively by relying on my vocabulary, mastering idiomatic expressions, and embracing the inclusive nature of the conversation. The encounter left me with a profound sense of accomplishment and reinforced my belief in the power of language as a catalyst for cultural exchange.
IELTS Speaking Part 2 topic. Describe a time when you faced a language barrier. What was the situation or context in which the language barrier occurred? Why was it challenging for you to overcome the language barrier? How did you communicate or find a way to understand each other? What did you learn from this experience?
Facing a language barrier can be a perplexing yet enlightening experience. I vividly recall an instance during my backpacking expedition in a remote village nestled within the heart of Southeast Asia where I encountered a substantial linguistic impasse. The situation arose when I stumbled upon a small, indigenous community while exploring the region. Eager to immerse myself in their culture, I attempted to strike up conversations with the locals. However, their native dialect, vastly different from any language I was familiar with, presented an immense challenge. The absence of any common linguistic ground posed a formidable obstacle, hindering effective communication. Overcoming the language barrier proved to be challenging primarily due to the vast dissimilarities between their native tongue and any language I spoke fluently. Simple gestures and nonverbal cues were insufficient to convey complex thoughts or ideas. The essence of communication, laden with cultural nuances and intricate expressions, seemed lost in translation. This made it arduous to establish meaningful connections or comprehend their way of life. Undeterred by the language chasm, I resorted to a multifaceted approach to bridge the divide. Utilizing a basic translation app coupled with a pocket dictionary, I attempted to string together rudimentary phrases. Additionally, I observed their customs attentively, trying to decipher contextual clues and glean meaning from their actions. Gradually, a breakthrough emerged as patience and perseverance became the catalysts for our understanding. Through a blend of patience, resourcefulness, and genuine interest, we eventually found a rudimentary yet effective mode of communication. Simple words, supplemented by gestures and drawings, became the conduits for exchanging ideas. The locals were patient and accommodating, understanding my limitations while encouraging my attempts to learn their language. This experience served as an enlightening lesson in the power of resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. It underscored the significance of patience and perseverance in surmounting seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Moreover, it fostered a profound appreciation for diverse cultures and the importance of effective communication beyond linguistic boundaries. In retrospect, this encounter not only enriched my cultural understanding but also honed my adaptability and problem-solving skills. It reinforced the adage that genuine intent transcends language barriers, fostering connections that resonate on a deeper, human level.
IELTS Speaking Part 2 topic. Describe a time when you faced a language barrier. When and where did you encounter the language barrier? What difficulties did you experience? How did you manage to communicate or overcome the barrier? What did you learn from the experience?
Language barriers are often hurdles that test our patience and creativity. I vividly recall an incident that happened 2 years ago during my trip to rural Japan. My journey took me to a quaint village renowned for its cultural heritage, but, unfortunately, sparsely populated by English speakers. This experience, although challenging, turned out to be incredibly enriching. Upon arrival, I immediately encountered difficulties. The local dialect was incomprehensible, and my rudimentary knowledge of Japanese proved to be woefully inadequate. Simple tasks such as ordering food or asking for directions became Herculean efforts. I found myself floundering, grappling with unfamiliar words and phrases, which left me feeling utterly befuddled. However, necessity is the mother of invention. To navigate these choppy waters, I resorted to a plethora of strategies. Firstly, I used a translation app on my phone, which became my lifeline. Though it wasn't foolproof, it provided a rudimentary bridge between me and the locals. Furthermore, I discovered the power of nonverbal communication. Gestures, facial expressions, and body language became my allies. I vividly remember the hilarity and camaraderie that ensued when I attempted to mimic a chicken to order a dish at a local eatery. My antics elicited laughter and ultimately, understanding. In addition, I leaned heavily on visual aids. Carrying a notebook with illustrations and common phrases allowed me to convey my needs more effectively. During a visit to a local market, I sketched a fish to indicate my interest in purchasing seafood. The vendor's face lit up with comprehension, and we successfully completed the transaction. This approach underscored the universal nature of human connection beyond linguistic confines. From this ordeal, I gleaned several invaluable lessons. Firstly, I realized the significance of cultural immersion and the importance of learning basic phrases in the local language before traveling. This fosters a sense of respect and willingness to engage with the host community. Secondly, I learned that patience and humor are crucial in overcoming communication barriers. Misunderstandings are inevitable, but embracing them with a light heart can transform a potentially frustrating experience into a memorable one. Ultimately, this experience underscored the beauty of human ingenuity and resilience. Despite the formidable language barrier, I forged meaningful connections and enriched my understanding of Japanese culture. It was a humbling reminder that communication transcends words, and with creativity and persistence, we can bridge even the widest of gaps. Hope you liked our video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep us motivated.